everyone, it's Suffer and I'm back with another video. Today we are going to be doing something exciting. We will be using these blow pens from Tiger to make some magical artwork. Yes. So let's get them out of their box and see what they look like. Okay, so we have rainbow colors, magical rainbow colors, all except for purple, which is one of my favorite colors, so thank you so much, Tiger, for not including it. Okay, so to use these markers, you take them apart like so, and you take the marker that's inside. It's basically just a normal marker, I think. Ooh, beautiful marker. And you put it into the clear part, like so, and then you put this thing on top to encapsulate it, and you blow in that end right there with your mouth, if that wasn't clear. So I did some swatches of the different colors and they all look very vibrant and neon and cool. I also tried touching the tips of the markers to each other, like in my how to get gradients with markers video thing. I'll put a link in the card if you haven't seen it, to get some gradients, and that also works, so that's pretty cool. I then made a sketch of this 80s rock girl because I thought, what could I make with these colors? Obviously, something 80s themed. So here you see me, or maybe you don't because there's light everywhere, but I'm basically just cutting masking tape out to make a stencil because I wanted to try this stencil approach where I could just blow like crazy all I wanted to, and then when I take off the tape, her hair will be a shape and nothing else will have color. I thought that would be fun to try. But you can't really see what I'm doing, so I'm sorry about that. And also, for some reason, I thought it was a good idea to tilt the camera because I thought my head would get in the way. I later discovered that it wasn't that big of a problem, so I go back to the normal angle. Okay, now that everything is masked off, we are ready to blow some pigment onto the paper. So I wanted her to have orange hair, and I wanted to do kind of like an effect where the top would be yellow and some of the bottom would be more pink, to make it a bit darker, and I thought that would be cool. Yes. I also masked off her shirt area, so I just peeled that off so I could paint on it, and masked her hair so I wouldn't paint shirt color on the hair. Yeah, so that's nice and cool. And here we go. Now I'm removing all of the masking. And these were the two main shapes that I wanted to color in because I gave her a leather jacket and I wanted to just draw that in ink and make it kind of like dripply, or you know, kind of a dry brush fading out into nothing at the bottom. You'll see what I mean later. I'm so good at the words. Yes. And I actually made another one before doing this that you see right now, that I totally ruined because the tape kept peeling off the paper. And I was so sad. And that also kind of happened on this one. But the other one was just so horrible because it peeled basically just all of the paper around her off. So I just restarted. But I was afraid that this would happen. So I had like stuck it onto my hands to try and make it not as sticky so it wouldn't stick to the paper that much, but it wasn't enough. It still stuck to the paper and I'm so sad. No, but hopefully you won't notice it too much. I don't really see it when I look at the paintings, so I think it's okay. I then proceeded to mask off the entirety of her body and hair so I could paint the background, and it looks super weird and very bad, and I was so afraid that I'd ruined the thing, so I just kind of kept going, and the more I put down, the more afraid I got that everything was ruined. I think it was because of the green, because the green was like very intense, and I had used the yellow and the pink and the orange mostly throughout the picture, so I just didn't want to put all of the dark green and blue in there. But when I peeled it off, it looked okay. So I was like, oh, I didn't mess it up. Yay. And I did use all of the colors. I know I'm using the markers as normal markers here, but I also did use all of the colors because I blended the blue with the pink to make the purple. So it counts, yes. And now I'm just going over everything, lining it with my brush pen. Everywhere one color hits another color, I'm lining it in black. And then later I will come in and add beautiful brown and orange to the hair and her facial details. You know how, like, when people color their line art digitally? That's basically what I'm doing, but it's traditional. Yeah. And here I am wasting all of the ink in my Pentel Pocket brush pen, because for some reason I thought that would be a good idea. Yes. No, it's fine. It's because I bought the new Kuretake, whatever it's called, that people always ask me about. So I use that for making line art, and whenever I have to fill in a big area, I just use my Pentel Pocket brush pen, because it doesn't give me as much control because it has a very big nib. But that means it's good for filling in larger areas. Ah, interesting. And it also gave me the effect that I was going for with the dry brushing at the bottom of the jacket. You see what I was talking about now? Yeah, I think it looks really cool, and I am very happy with it. And you might have noticed that her body is way too big for her head. Well, it's because she's wearing an oversized jacket. And that's not an excuse. I on purpose drew the jacket to be very big. Maybe it's just normal sized. Oh well, I don't know anymore. I don't know anything anymore. You know, when you stare at your art too long and you're like, is it too big? I don't know. I've been staring at this for hours now. Anyway, now I am adding the line art to the hair in orange, and I think that was a good decision, because it's more defined, but it doesn't really take away from the splotchiness, beautiful texture of the blow pens. So I think that was a good idea. And then I added all of her facial details with a brown pen, just to make it look a bit softer. And I think that works pretty well too. And then I'm just adding some loose hair strands with the orange pen. But I think that this turned out pretty cool. I'm happy with the result. And of course, you can't do something like this without getting artist hands. So here you go. Here are my beautiful artist hands for you to look at, because I know you want to. So that's about it for this video. Here is the finished piece for you to look at. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later.